going from the inside. 8-1 right now. Racing a couple of grade 3s of Bay Meadows and Aqueduct. Best he could do there was third, 5 lengths back.
Best looking and best bred horse in the race, but like the other horses in this race, he is not a stakes winner. Expect him to show speed from the inside. Wayne Lucas, trainer, has won this race twice.
Here's Miracle Man being bet at 5-2. As Randy said, hasn't faced this kind of company. An allowance race at Keeneland that we showed you, convincing, winning by 7 lengths. He's 3 for 3 in his career.
Just like you saw in those past performances, he's the kind of horse that'll stalk the pace from just behind the leaders, and Cornelio Velasquez has ridden him in all of his races.
Vicarage is the 3. Robbie Alvarado didn't do much in the Florida Derby, but had some trouble hitting the gate, went 4 wide in that, but impressed us a lot in the Louisiana Derby when he was chasing around High Limit to the finish.
Right, he was right behind High Limit all the way around there, and so off that effort, Vicarage would be the horse to beat in here.
Good value at 7-2 as they begin to jog out. Ultimate, that's a Nick Zito horse. He's going to be in his 5th career start, and he hasn't faced this kind of company either.
And Nick told me this morning that Ultimate was a little high-strung, and I think you're seeing that right now. He's already told us to expect him to go to the lead.
Santana Strings coming off the best last buyer, 99 at Hawthorne.
A very good effort, and before that he chased Lost in the Fog, the best 3-year-old sprinter in the country, twice. Big shot for him to win today.
Good work by our cameras keeping up as they go into the full jog now. Gallardo, Bob Baffert sends him out. He's raced 6 times. He's only won once. That was a maiden race.
Yeah, and that was in his very last start at 1 mile at Santa Anita. Baffert won this race 7 years ago with a horse called Souvenir Copy. Scratch, Crimson Stag, the original number 7.
And Don't Get Mad, who Randy's so wild about, that horse being now at 9-5. So they've backed off just a little bit, the money being split between Don't Get Mad and the unbeaten 2-horse Miracle Man. We're coming right back 6 minutes away from the 81st running of the Derby trial. We'll come back to Louisville, get you set up for this race. And this time we promise to give you the Bud Long Shot so you can actually bet it before the race. As far as the players are concerned, Miracle Man unbeaten in 3 starts, 5-2. Vicarage second in Louisiana Derby. He's 3-1. And Don't Get Mad, the outside chance of considering coming back a week later, the Kentucky Derby, the favorite at 2-1. Apologies for last week, as Randy gave a great Bud Long Shot, but just kind of like as they were leaving the gate. So
we caught some grief about that.
Give the people some time with a few minutes to go.
And today's Bud Long Shot is the number 5, Santana Strings. I tried to come up with some sort of Carlos Santana comparison to this 3-year-old son of Wheaton, and I really couldn't come up with anything. So just suffice to say, this horse is coming off a very strong effort at Hawthorne against a field that was better than most people give it credit for. He gets the best last start buyer speed figure in the field.
You could have bought him for $8,000 too.
He's got a very ordinary pedigree, but he's turned out to be a pretty nice horse on the racetrack from the Steve Asmussen stable. And right now, Santana Strings from 4-1 on the morning line up to 7-1 on the board right now. Kenny and I both like a Vicarage Santana Strings exacta box.
Absolutely. Vicarage wouldn't be the Bud Long Shot, but definitely some value at 3-1. He was 20-1, maybe even 21-1 in the Louisiana Derby, and just kept coming on. Really showed some run in that race. Got a nice buyer figure, chasing High Limit to the wire. Wasn't going to get him, but look at him. He's still running hard all the way in that race.
That race was 1 mile and a 16th. Then he came back in his next start in the Florida Derby. They weren't going to run him in that race, but if you remember, Bandini had to drop out due to a foot bruise, so it's sort of the last minute they decided to substitute Vicarage in there and try to take advantage of what looked like kind of an unsettled Florida Derby situation. And it turned out to be, as Todd Pletcher says now, not a good call. He backed up pretty badly, probably ran further than he wants to run at 1 mile and an 1/8. This ought to be a really good distance.
Hammer, we can all sound smart or just be complete fools like usual. You're in agreement with us?
I can sound unanimous is what I can sound. I like Vicarage too. He had an excuse in the Florida Derby. Hey, it's not smart to go against Todd Pletcher. I like Miracle Man second, 3 for 3. He's been sprinting. This is only a 1-turn mile, so I don't think he'll have too much of a problem. And I think Don't Get Mad gets third. I'm not on the Santana Springs bandwagon, so I would take Vicarage over those other 2.
All right, Hammer.
The one thing last week when we did the Lexington, you remember Pletcher won it with coin silver, and that same day he won a couple of big stakes races at Hawthorne. He won a couple of other races at Gulfstream Park. The day hasn't started off quite so well for Pletcher. He had Proud Accolade, his other top 3-year-old sprinter, going in the Withers earlier today on a bad track, and he didn't run very well. So.
Randy, give us the keys to the race, please.
Here they are. For Don't Get Mad, coming off 1 mile and an 1/8 race and being a stretch runner to boot, it's Don't Lose Touch. How far behind will Don't Get Mad get during the early stages? Remember, this is basically just a long sprint, a 1-turn mile at Churchill Downs. Then you've got the pace factor. Does Big Top Cat from the inside make the lead? Does Ultimate the Nick Zito horse make the lead? And if either of them get to the front, can they comfortably control the pace? And finally, they're stretching the strings today. Santana strings from 6 furlongs up to a mile. The only previous time he ran a mile, he didn't run very well. They have a little concern about him at 1 mile, but the way he closed in his last race, I'm not as worried as they are.
Well, Luke Kreitbos is the race caller here. Luke, did they fancy up your area as well? Do you have like leather seats and everything?
Not quite, but it is tremendous. I'm 6.5 floors up, Kenny, and compared to the trailer I was in last year, it is absolutely tremendous. I could actually see everything. I could actually see the chute this year when they run the Derby trial, so I can actually give you an accurate call here the first 1/8 of a mile or so in this race.
You know, you're above it, and you're here for the beauty of the sport, but who do you like in this race if you were?
I'm looking for a possible wire job by Big Top Cat. I love his breeding. Lucas is hot right now, and Mike Smith just scored with a big long shot, so we'll see. He's 8-1 right now.
Yeah, Big Top Cat has both gone on the lead and stalked in this race. Let's have the call.
In the gate. Off and running in the Derby trial. Don't Get Mad broke on top to take a short early lead, but Vicarage soon takes over now, joined by Gallardo on the outside. Up the inside comes Big Top Cat, Flashing Speed, and Miracle Man. Up the chute they go. Ultimate now gets ahead in front. Big Top Cat will press him hard from the rails. Second, Miracle Man tracking from third. Santana Strings is right there. 3 wide fourth, and Vicarage between horses. Gap of 4 farther back to Gallardo. And now Don't Get Mad, who broke on top, has dropped 12 lengths off the pace. The opening quarter mile, extremely fast, 22-2. Big Top Cat and Mike Smith by a half. Ultimate right there, second by 2. Vicarage inching up into third by an neck to Santana Strings, who's right off his outside flank, racing fourth. Miracle Man next by 5. Long shot Gallardo next by 2. And Gary Stevens starting to get busy on Don't Get Mad. Still more than 10 to make up into the turn. Half down the straight in 45 seconds flat, and around the turn they go. Ultimate in front by head, pounced on by Vicarage now. Big Top Cat can't hang with the top pair. Santana Strings is shaken up now. Here comes Gallardo charging up on the far outside, and Don't Get Mad starting to uncork his rally, still with 9 to make up as they straighten away. Vicarage opening up a 4-length cushion off the turn. It's Vicarage 3/16 from home. Don't Get Mad will try to mow him down, and he's under a full head of steam under Gary Stevens. Don't Get Mad is absolutely flying, and he goes right on by like Vicarage was standing still at the 8th pole. And Don't Get Mad impressive from last to first win in the Derby trial. Don't Get Mad, and Gary Stevens may be onto the Derby. He'll win it impressively by about 6 at the wire. Gallardo was second, Vicarage third, and Miracle Man was fourth in 1:36 flat.
That's all we know.
Well, you had to love Don't Get Mad in this spot, didn't you?
Sure had him poised. He brought him so far back. It almost looked like there was something wrong with the horse, that he was backing off so far as they went into the far turn. He was about 12 to 15 lengths out of that race.
You know, there's a possibility now, you know, especially after watching Don't Get Mad run the way he just ran, that possibly he just didn't handle the racetracks at Santa Anita as well as he likes the track here at Churchill Downs. Keep in mind that in his first 2 starts of his career, which is what owner B. Wayne Hughes alluded to earlier as a potential reason why they even ran him in this race, he started here at Churchill Downs, and he came from way back at 6 furlongs, at 7 furlongs, and won both races. This is by far, I think, the best race in Don't Get Mad's career. Vicarage just got leg weary when they turned for home. It looked like he was in complete control of the race at about the 3/8 pole, but Don't Get Mad wins galloping away, and boy, does this make an interesting decision for owner B. Wayne Hughes. You know, I mean, you've got Greeley's Galaxy coming off a 9.5 length win in the Illinois Derby, but now you've got a horse in Don't Get Mad who's coming off that huge win and 3 for 3 at Churchill Downs. I still think he'd have to take Greeley's Galaxy, but boy, he sure hopes they can both get in, I guarantee you.
Particularly for as much as we disparaged him before the race. So Don't Get Mad, impressive winner coming from way back and mowing him down in the stretch. Don't Get Mad has taken him down in the 81st running of the Derby trial. We're going to come right back. The 3rd time in 6 career starts taking him down in the Derby trial, Randy.
And this was not only Gary Stevens' first win in the Derby trial. This, believe it or not, was the very first time he'd ever had a mount in the Derby trial. And he's got to be very impressed with the way Don't Get Mad ran. You know, I mean, I said before the race, I said a lot of things about Don't Get Mad before.
Yeah, it was all you.
One of the things I said was that I thought it was probably about a 90% chance that even if Don't Get Mad won, that Greeley's Galaxy would probably be the horse of choice in the Kentucky Derby. But I also thought that Don't Get Mad was overrated, and he was kind of a mediocre kind of horse. This performance, 136 flat for a mile, is going to give you a speed figure, I think, that's comparable to what Greeley's Galaxy got in the Illinois Derby, and he did it very visually impressive. Now look at Vicarage there on the lead. He's pretty much coasted past Big Top Cat and Ultimate to get the lead. But when he turns for home, just keep your eye on Vicarage for a second. He's floundering, just completely falling apart. I mean, you can kind of tell there that he's not striding out. I mean, he's really sort of drifting out a little bit, and at this point, Don't Get Mad has a full head of steam on the outside. It's the way he likes to run from way back in the pack, and look at him striding out in the last 1/8 of a mile.
Gary Stevens patient, 136 flat the final time.
They tried some things differently with this horse. They've been giving him bleeder medication, Lasix, and Ron Ellis, the trainer, and there's owner B. Wayne Hughes talking over with Stevens right now. Ron Ellis says that sometimes Lasix can dull a horse, just like any medication can dull a human if they don't take to it very well. So they tried no Lasix today, drug-free, as you would like to say, to see if that made a difference. I don't know if that's what it is, but certainly this horse ran a remarkable race, the best he's ever run.
And they paid money for those who backed, and we didn't. Don't Get Mad, $7 even. And Gallardo, Bob Baffert's maiden winner, goes forward, runs a strong second in this race to complete the 8-6 exacta. Certainly makes for a more interesting Derby week. Decisions on the line here with Don't Get Mad, the winner of the Derby trial. We're coming right back. Sockmore, Kentucky Derby when we return from Churchill Downs.
If he wins, he's in.
Well, I want to get both of them in, this one and Greeley's Galaxy.
Well, you have the distinct possibility of doing that, don't you?
That's right, I do.
But you said if you know, if Don't Get Mad ran well today, were you exceedingly pleased? What if he's on the bubble?
I'm hoping I'm not on the bubble.
Okay, let me go to Gary Stevens, and Gary, this horse really picked him up. Going a mile race, and were you a little concerned about the shorter distance for him, he being a closer as he is?
No, not at all. I listened to Ron's comments earlier in the week. They'd taken him off Lasix, and a lot of times that will dull a horse when they're on Lasix, and he was really sharp warming up today, and he actually broke on the lead, and I had to ease him back. It took me about 100 yards to get him to settle, and he was real push button for me. I actually put me up in a pocket a little quicker than I thought I was going to be there. I had to steady him for about 10 strides coming in the lane, then swung extremely wide, and I saw the leader way in front of me.
Here's the stretch run, Gary.
And right here, when I kind of chirped to him, kissed to him a little bit, he just exploded. I haven't had too many horses on the dirt that can accelerate like he did. And the track's a little bit cuppy today. It's a little bit loose, if you will, underneath, and he was really covering the ground the last 1/8 of a mile.
The horse you're scheduled to ride and next week is Noble Causeway, similar running style. You sticking with Noble Causeway, first of all?
Yeah, I've made a commitment to ride Noble Causeway. I'm excited about next week's race. I just appreciate getting the opportunity today to be a sub-rider or whatever I was, and if I helped him make a decision to get in the Derby, the more the merrier. He definitely deserves a shot. And
does he make you nervous? I'm
going to know where he's at, put it that way. Yeah. I will know where he's at in the race.
Ron, Gary talked about taking him off the Lasix. What was it that he was dull, his efforts the last 2 races?
Well, a little bit dull, especially in his last race. I was very, very disappointed in his last effort. I really thought he was ready to run a bang-up race, and I just thought he was a very quality colt all along, and I couldn't have been more disappointed. So it's one of those things where you have to kind of go back to the drawing board and see what maybe can be changed to get him back to where you think they can be. The first time I ran him out at Santa Anita 7/8 of a mile, he broke very sharp, wasn't on Lasix, and ran a huge race. So we thought we'd go back to square one today.
Ron, what about him, as you see him running up in the pocket here, but what is it going to take to get, with 1 week, can you get him ready again?
Well, I don't think he needs to be ready. He has a lot of foundation. For his last race, he was more than fit enough to go 1 1/8 miles. And, you know, he's got a lot of foundation. One thing about it is he should be a little bit of a fresher horse because he didn't get much out of his last race. So, you know, he's not a hard-used horse this year. And, you know, this race might just sharpen him up. And we'll find out if Ben Jones had a little something that the rest of us don't know.
Ron, you and Gary are West Coast people. Is the West Coast contingent being overlooked, or is it a weak crop this year? Gary?
I don't think you can overlook any of the 3-year-olds at this time of the year. A lot of them fall by the wayside, where a lot of them are maturing right now. I mean, this is the springtime. This is where they do take big steps forward. And we've been made fools of a lot in the past by throwing out horses that have run subpar races 3 or 4 weeks before the Kentucky Derby, and then they come back and win it.
Ron, what do you think?
Well, you know, yeah, you can't throw them out, and you know, some of these horses have been winning off and running huge numbers, but they are changing all the time. You know, I got to give Wayne a lot of credit. He didn't give up on this horse when I was kind of ready to back off of him, and he said, well, let's keep going, and I'm surely glad we did.
All right, great day for you three gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. And now let's go back to Kenny and Randy.
All right, Randy, let's clarify for those who are fans of either Greeley's Galaxy or Don't Get Mad. Don't Get Mad has the earnings and was nominated on time. Greeley's Galaxy has the earnings but wasn't nominated. So right now he's not in unless they pull Don't Get Mad. What he's hoping is that somebody else drops out, then he can put both his horses in.
Exactly. I mean, that's the absolute best case scenario for B. Wayne Hughes, and that's what the one that he keeps talking about. He wants to be positive. He doesn't want to think in terms of having to choose one or the other. But right now, if the situation does not change between now and Wednesday, he's going to have to make that choice. Because right now there are 21 horses, and only one of them are going to be able to get in. That's what's going to be so fascinating. You've got a horse in Don't Get Mad, right? That's now 3 for 3 at Churchill Downs. Okay? You've got Greeley's Galaxy, who they're going to have to pay $200,000 to get him into the starting lineup if they choose to run him. You got one that's got to come back in 1 week's rest.
I don't think he's worried so much about the money factor.
Well, he's one of the richest men in America. He owns Public Storage Company. He's a billionaire, so the $200,000 is probably not causing him to lose any sleep right now.
And we stored all our information on this race in one of those buildings. That's why we couldn't hit the winner on Don't Get Madness. So if you're him, giving him advice, which one do you choose, though, off this? I mean, he has until Wednesday. You have to do this before the draw, not all the way up until the race.
What I do at this point, probably, if it was my horse, I would run Greeley's Galaxy, I think, and then bring and sort of point Don't Get Mad for the Preakness. I mean, even though he's 3 for 3 at Churchill Downs, and obviously that's got to be a consideration. But, you know, if I had the $200,000, which, of course, I'm a little light in the wallet for that, but that would be my choice still.
If Don't Get Mad can get in and somehow finds its way in the race, it makes what we've already said was a very strong Derby field that was getting better with Greeley's Galaxy, even better now. There are so many accomplished runners in this race. It's still Bellamy Road's race to lose, probably, but there are a lot of horses that are going to be able to come at him.
It is, and we talked about how it's very entertaining and odd this year that we've had so many blowout winners of their final Kentucky Derby prep races. We can just add one more today if he gets in.
Tomorrow, we'll try to straighten this out even further. 2 o'clock Eastern. That's on ESPN 2. It's a Triple Crown special. I guess we'll be looking at 21 horses for now. The gate will only hold 20. Churchill Downs gets off to a great start. It looked strong, and it had a good run in the Derby trial. Don't Get Mad, and Gary Stevens, not a bad guy to have as a sub-writer. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Please do watch SportsCenter Stories of Inspiration special. It's next.